1.
So we're going to explore 3 of the tools that I have in my spreadsheet here, these teacher tools that I've explored, and these are just 3 of the ones that I found really interesting and useful for facilitating instruction in a classroom. The first of those is Nearpod. Nearpod is an online presentation app that you can use on the web or via a mobile app. And this presentation isn't just slides that students kind of passively consume. The Nearpod pushes the presentation to their device. So if they have a link to the presentation, they can get on their own device, or they can look at the presentation on a computer or on the class screen. But really, it's best for them to have their own devices because they're following along on their device and they're able to interact on their device. So I wanted to show an example. Nearpod has these new VR lessons that are really cool. So this one's on Native American housing. And when we preview this, it's going to open up this virtual reality tour of an archaeological site that they can explore. So they can spend some time exploring that and move on to the next slide and explore some more. So these are just ways for them to explore these things kind of on their own, and then they kind of use these for warm up, draw things on a pad on here. Let me get this up. So they can choose a region on this, and they can sort of interact with it. And they also will be asked to practice a skill or to take a quick poll. So it's just a way for them to be engaged in the presentation versus just a PowerPoint where they're sitting in their desk, looking at the screen, taking notes, maybe on paper. This gets them involved using their own technology and gets them involved in the presentation and in the learning. So for that, I really like this one. The second tool is Quizlet. Quizlet is an online kind of a flashcard or study guide tool. So a teacher can create a class set of vocab terms and definitions or concepts that they want students to work on. So this is for the Great Depression, and you can see you've got vocab terms here with definitions and even images to help students kind of become fluent with these terms. Once they look over them, they can do things like look at flashcards. So they can study these as you would a normal kind of flashcards that you create, but these are created for them. So they can, look at this, and they can, after studying those, they can do several things with them as far as assessing their own kind of mastery of these concepts or these terms. So they can do like a quick spelling test. They can do a matching game where they're matching the term to the definition. Again, it's just getting them involved in learning this in an interactive way, getting technology in here, and not just kind of your traditional class flashcards. It's more interactive using technology. The third is Padlet. Padlet is an online bulletin board, if you will. It's a space that you can create as a teacher for the class to come on the board together and all create content. So I can come in here and say, my 2 cents. I've already got a post there. And let me go back in here. So they can add their own thoughts. They can also add attachments. They can add images. So if they want, they can choose a file. They can add video attachments. So they can take a video to attach to this, post it on the bulletin board. Audio, so they can not only type their response, but they can record an audio response. This is just a way to capture multiple forms of student response in one space. The students get to see what their peers are sharing. They get to hear what their peers have to say, and the teacher has a way to collect all that in one space, and you can actually run a report at the end of the Padlet session and have a report, a printout of all the student input. So again, another way of using technology to get student input. It can be used for brainstorming during an activity. I can see this being used during a lesson, maybe in real time, to get questions from students, maybe who aren't comfortable raising their hand, or if you want to get those questions in real time and be able to address them, this could be really useful. Again, these are just 3 of those tools that I found to be useful, and look forward to exploring these more and using them in my own classroom.